Welcome to Monday Movie Madness with
Zach
and Caden on Superhero Brodowns.
So today we will be debating about which film is better, Guardians Galaxy 1 or Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Both films were good, I felt.
Both films were fantastic, don't get me wrong.
But I felt that 1 was better.
I felt that 2 was better, and I feel like I'm going in with the people's bias against me, because I think more people are on your side, definitely.
I would think so, and...
I will defend Guardians 2, because I actually, Kayfabe loved it. It was great. For those who don't know, Kayfabe is in real life.
Really?
Dude, I thought it was great.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just picking the side because we need some material. I'm doing this. I liked it.
Yeah, we debated about this countless times because he saw the movie.
Yes, countless too.
I can't count any higher than 1, bro. What are you talking about? All right, so today, remember
116 potato.
Well, what's after that one? Banana?
A gun. Okay.
All right, so by the way, rip headphone users again.
Rip headphone users. I'm sorry. I'm loud. Okay.
Again, rip headphone users. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, all that jazz, and
get ready for this movie Monday madness.
And so today we are gonna have, as normal, it's boxing style. 2 rounds of 3-minute. And 1 round of 5 minutes to just close up all ties.
Let's iterate that our original thing of Monday Movie Madness was reviews and stuff, where we're not at each other's throats. But we're at each other's throats both videos so far. So
yeah,
eventually it'll get to us agreeing on stuff.
Granted, though, there's not any movies out currently that are actually relevant still,
or that we're both excited about. Because
yeah.
I think that Inhumans is okay.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
I think that it'll be all right. Well, no one really was oh, Guardians. Oh, I've never heard of them. I bet they're going to be as fantastic as the Avengers.
Well, granted, when the first Guardians film came out, I was just really confused. I was like, who the heck are they? Guardians of the Galaxy?
I've heard of Star-Lord and Gamora.
It's not Gamora. it is Gamora. It is not Gamora. See, I had heard about the original.
And that's how I lost this. That's how I lost this.
Right after the Guardians, they announced it, I was really confused. I was thinking it was gonna be something more like Fantastic Four-y or something. I don't even know, because when I saw the title and everything, that's all I thought.
That's how I felt with Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Ant-Man. That was a good movie.
That was great though.
You've never heard of Ant-Man before that?
Not before the movie.
Really?
Then I looked into him and I was like, this guy's pretty
cool. Ant-Man was cool, because I remember he used to be in all the cartoon shows.
Just to say, we haven't even started the timer yet.
We have not.
And we're already blowing your guys' ears off. Anyway, let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
Oh man, awkward silence.
Go!
Okay, so Guardians 2 is a good film. Okay, I'm not gonna go against that, but I feel like the jokes almost became too much, because there is a difference between being really humorous and being a good humorous action film, which was a big surprise when Guardians 1 came out, and when Guardians 2 came out, everyone compared it to Guardians 1, so you're already trying to make it so much like Guardians 1.
And I feel like if you did that, if the second Guardians came out as the first one, and the first one came out as the second one, we would do the same thing.
No, but I feel like the Guardians 2 just tried to live up to what Guardians 1 did, and it tried to be funny, but it just tried to do it again. There were scenes in it, I thought the movie was funny, but there were points where it just got a little bit too much.
And what do you mean too much?
Okay, so there was a scene where he was talking about how Star-Lord was talking about how he never got to throw around a ball with his dad, and so he makes the orb thing and then throws it to his dad, and the camera's panning out, and you get this really fun-loving scene. You get the music; it's all happy.
It's nice. What joke is that?
No, but I mean, I just tried to be the music. I tried to be really cheesy.
I think that it succeeded in that he's living his childhood dream. That's what he wanted.
But they could have. I feel like they could have done it in a humorous way without being that cheesy.
But you're saying that the jokes were out of place, not that it wasn't funny. You did say it was funny, and
that joke there, it was just a little bit too much.
I saw it as that it was great.
Well, same
I saw it as an emotional part of it.
All of the Drax and Mantis stuff.
That was a little forced.
That was he was oh yeah, you're really ugly. I mean, there was people in the theater that left. I saw it opening weekend or so, and I thought it was good.
I thought that was pretty funny.
No, but it was so forced. It was so forced.
I think that I think that in the first thing, that they were humorous, yes, in the first movie, but they were out of place jokes, just as out of place in there. And when I'm talking out of place, I mean in a place that's supposed to have one tone, but it tries to make it funny, and
But that was the film.
Succeeds.
It succeeds, yeah.
But it doesn't, like, when you look back on it, it was like, that was really, like, I don't know how to feel about that.
But
because you can laugh at the time of when it happens, but like,
but
when
you
look
can't even do that with the Guardians too. There's like the whole scene between
if we were in a public place and I socked you in the mouth, people would laugh. But when we all look back on it, I was like, damn, that was a really jerk move for him to just hit someone in the face. But at the time, we laughed. When you look back on it, they're talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna die on the battlefield. We're gonna all go back. We're gonna see my wife and daughter again. We're gonna put our lives on the line to stop Ronan. And then Rocket just stands up and is like, yep, we're all standing now, like a bunch of jackasses. And that was one of the best lines in the film. But then when you look back on it, I was like, that was really out of place. Like,
no, I didn't think so. I didn't think so at all.
This was supposed to be serious, like,
no,
the time...
It wasn't, like, you didn't even know anything about the film going in. You weren't expecting anything from it. You weren't expecting it to be a funny film. You weren't expecting it to be any of those things.
Time is up.
So that was a good first round, I feel like.
I thought that was pretty good.
We really just went over the comedic parts of the film, but there's a lot more to the film.
There's more to it, definitely.
So we're going to try to get into more character and plot and villains.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, alright, whenever you're ready, we can start the next fight.
I'm not ready. My phone isn't turned on. Turned off.
And by the way, we're using a phone for the timer, if that wasn't already obvious.
I am a Time Lord. Okay.
Again, bad jokes.
What is... Okay, my jokes are hilarious.
Okay, we're done. Okay.
I gotta go meet my dad! Okay.
I don't have a dad, no.
Same. Okay, that's why I hang out with you. You're so tall. Make me feel like I have parents.
That's really
Anyway,
depressing.
let's begin. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
So, I feel like the film in both films, neither of them had great villains. So, there's not really...
I think that Ego as a villain was fantastic. Yeah. Much better than Ronan, who was just this, like, okay, when you think about it, whose father is better? Obviously, Ego as a villain. Because when you look at Ronan and Gamera had, like, bad blood, father, son, they hate each other.
They were father and...
I know they're not technically, but
yeah,
adopted father...
Whatever
adopted daughter. Also, I said son, not daughter.
But, some people.
Whatever. It was like, Ronan took her in.
I'm not gonna go against
But
you.
when it comes to Ego, that was fantastic because that's his actual father. And there's more emotion relayed there because he left him. He betrayed him.
I thought that was good, but the only part I didn't... Like, I actually liked Ego more than Ronan. I thought, like, Ronan was a little bit of a throwaway villain. I'm not gonna debate you on that. But the only part I didn't like about Ego was where it had to go back to Earth. Because I felt like that really was out of place in a Guardians film where you're in space so much, and then, like, there's running around, and then you get this thing at, like, a Dairy Queen or wherever they were, and there's just, like, this thing growing out of the ground.
Because that's Ego. That is Ego. That was the... at the beginning of the film, when it pans down to that flower
I remember that, but the problem was it just felt so out of place. Like, just how it looked.
I think it's showing that he's expanding on one planet, and he's expanding in other planets. And I'd like to point out that he's such a scumbag that he killed the one that he loved just to continue with his plan of being not alone, which he couldn't have been alone. He had a love.
I did feel like that was a good tie into the first film, because it actually... The film didn't fully connect with, like, really the first film, other than that. Other than, like, the characters.
And when it goes back to the characters, I think everyone had something to build off of. Nebula and Gamera had to build off... Gamora and Nebula combined, and they built up their sisterhood, and they now trust each other. And there's also some build with Rocket and Yondu, who Yondu unfortunately passing. That was the saddest part of the movie. And I thought that was much sadder than Groot dying in the first movie. Because Groot wasn't dead. At the end of the movie, you saw that he was alive. If Groot had actually died, that would be much sadder.
Nobody dies in actual Marvel movies. You don't know that.
Yondu is dead. They had to send him out into space.
Which
people, Ravagers had a funeral for him.
Speaking about the end of the film, oh my gosh, they tried to tie up like 50 billion ends.
Like how bad?
Okay, so they had first of all, 5 end scenes. That was the number one problem. I went in thinking 5 end scenes. Why? A lot of them, were for comedic, but there was one about Adam, and which I think would be interesting. But again, why didn't they? They should have gone through these things in the film, found a creative way to do them instead of just making these really out of place end scenes.
All right, that's the end of the timer. I'm really disappointed I didn't get the last word because I always like having the last word because you can't say anything.
I like having the last word. It's so much more fun. All right, again, this is really intense. I liked Guardians 2. I actually had a cousin, or like my second cousin. He worked on the special effects for it.
All right.
Yeah.
You brag about that a lot.
I brag about that a lot because it's cool.
I was expecting you to go somewhere weird with it. Like, I had a second cousin. And I would just be like, hold on, we're going to move on. Let's talk about something else.
Well, you see.
Well, you see, one time I
met okay. So.
I met this girl at...
Family reunion?
I met this girl, and she said
Country people.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if someone on my dad's side of the family has done that. And I'm so sorry to those who are watching this. But you gotta admit, we are street people. And we're bad. Okay? Like, my other half is so much more sophisticated.
Alright, we definitely need to start this round. We're getting really off topic.
Anyway.
I apologize. We get really off topic, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, most of the
This
time.
happens all the time when we're in school, by the way. By the way, we're in school.
Yeah, like,
we're not gonna specify what version of school this is, but we're in school.
But we'll be in the middle of class. We'll start debating about theoretical science.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Last round. Let's go.
Okay, so I feel like the end scenes were just really like it was just a lot of ends that they had to tie up at the end of the film. Plus, do you know what else was a really out of place joke?
What?
The Pac-Man thing in the middle of the ego fight.
I thought that was great. It had a couple funny parts in it that didn't feel as out of place as Guardians 1 had.
No. You know they felt way more out of place. Like, in Guardians 1, they were just flying around, they make little jokes when they're in the airplane, and this one you get, like, the whole, like, okay, you cannot push this red button, which was a good scene, and I actually really liked that scene, too. But, again, like, so much of this was, or, like, where he's trying to find the duct tape, and, like, you just get this really weird, like, contrast.
That was funny. I thought that was so funny.
No, I thought it was funny, but I just felt like it was like kind of out of place in the scene.
I thought the funny bit with Drax during the tape thing was like, Drax, you have tape? Yeah, Scotch tape would work. Well, if you don't have Scotch tape, why would you ask? I thought that was great. That was hilarious. You're even laughing too.
Okay.
That means that it's funny.
I thought that fight scene was good, but what I really liked at the end was that in Guardians 1, they had this, like, family thing where it's these people that don't know each other, and you get this great, like, sacrificing a bunch of people's lives to save the galaxy.
That same thing could have happened.
But it didn't.
You don't know, you didn't view every world that Ego had on it.
No, I know, but like, in the film, we didn't, like, we're talking about which film was better, not which, like, what could have happened. Like, this
But you don't know, it could have been just as a dire situation.
No, but it didn't happen in the film. It didn't happen in the film, though.
But it still happened. He talked about how many places he'd been and how many parts of him he put on there.
But again, it didn't happen in the film, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about which film is better.
But you can infer that it did happen. We saw on Earth that he was growing. He obviously grew on other planets.
Yeah, but like they didn't actually save the galaxy. It was the Guardians, and it was like I guess it was kind of teamwork at the end with like Yondu and him. But other than that, like there wasn't a lot of sacrificing themselves. I mean,
Yondu sacrificed himself. Friggin'.
But again, I feel like they just like tried to build on these characters that didn't really need to be built on, and I'm assuming it's for Infinity War.
They built on a character who didn't even have a place. He barely had any lines in the first movie, and I'm talking about Yondu's understudy, his little guy, his friend that didn't abandon him when they were part of the Ravagers, and he now has Yondu's
thing, his
stabby arrow, yeah,
okay,
his arrow and his headpiece. And I think that that's great. They built off that character and made him an actually likable character.
But I feel like, again, like, all they're doing is building off the first film.
And that worked.
But, like, there was, like, did you notice how much random stuff was in the film? Like, there were so many different subplots, you couldn't even follow all of them.
You could say that for the first film, anyway.
Could you, though?
That there were so many backstories that didn't go explained.
No, but,
there
like,
were so many things.
It was the mystery that made the characters great. It was
and
that
we filled up that mystery.
But you don't need the mystery was what made these characters. You're coming in with Star-Lord. You don't know who his father is, so you're just assuming, oh, like that's cool. He doesn't know who his father is. I mean, it's good to know, but like in the films, I feel like unsaid, it was really entertaining.
If Guardians of the Galaxy 1 tried to do that, they would have just as much trouble. And that's why it had trouble. They had to do so much, but they did it well.
No, but in Guardians 1, they left out stuff because they could. They said, oh yeah, he killed my family, I'm gonna get revenge. Like, it was very basic motives, and it was like, why are we saving the galaxy? Because I'm one of the, like, suckers that lives in it. Like, I mean, it makes sense, and you don't need to know a bunch of backstory, so much left unsaid, it was fine. You gotta see these random people that have never met each other meet, and you gotta see this amazing, like, chemistry that
well,
you've
what
never
about
seen.
Mantis? They never met Mantis, and now she's a part
Mantis
of
was, Mantis wasn't that great.
Mantis wasn't that great, but she is what you said, people that have never met before, and now she is a part of the crew.
Was she entertaining in the film?
I thought that she was at least some form of entertaining. Maybe not as well as funny, but she did bring up some good, like, she did help with the story and was a very important part of the story. She even helped in the final battle.
Okay, so just because you help, like, so did all the, like, random, like, Starjet flyers in the Guardians 1, but, like, they weren't main characters that are gonna help.
Yet they died, and we remember them, because they helped.
Dude.
And we'll remember Mantis.
But I feel like Mantis was just, like, not a very built-upon character.
Yes, they can build up on them more, but that's why they built up on them in the second film, because the same thing happened in the first film. We didn't know that much about Nebula, or Yondu, or any of the people that only got some screen time. I'm sure if she is in Infinity War, probably not, but if she is, they'll build on Mantis just as much as they did with the other characters, and then that's why they made Guardians 2. That's the timer.
Wow. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I know, there was a lot of points that just
I tried to go all in for that last round.
I didn't get to bring up a lot of points about, like, cinematography and plot that I really wanted to bring up.
That's why I tried to just keep it on the characters.
Characters and humor, and that was important, but I feel like I could if I would have brought up plot and, like, cinematography,
Yeah, and remember, guys, try to base this off what we said, because there's an obvious choice if you, like, do the research.
Yeah.
And, like, know about it. Like, you can make your own choice, but we want you to base this off what we said, because this is kind of like a competition between us at the same time. So,
based off what we said or what we didn't even say. If we didn't say something, like, that's a point off. Because if we're missing stuff, like, that's our fault, Yep. So, we definitely should have tried to be bring
by the next video, next week, whoever has the most votes wins.
We're hoping.
So you can still vote when you watch the video, but after the 1 week period, you vote for whatever you want.
So, but especially for me, that's probably better. But there is you can vote for either, you can either vote in the comments, which, I mean, it won't necessarily get counted, and if we can, we'll put a poll in the top right corner.
Polls are better.
Polls are better because they can, like, count.
Polls are better because they hold things up like flags.
Ha. Got me there.
Laugh at my joke!
Okay, so... Rip headphone users. Alright. So, I hope that was entertaining to you guys. It was really entertaining to us, because we've been wanting to debate about this topic for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we just have such different opinions.
We have very different opinions.
We have really different visions of how things should happen.
It's like with your family. You all agree you should do something, but you all think you should do something different.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
And remember, we keep a schedule, so be sure to stick around for Monday Movie Madness and Friday Night Fights. We'll see y'all next time, nerd folk.
Goodbye.